School of Management Studies IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course MMPC 016 International Business Management for MBA program. Presenting Block 1 Introduction to International Business, Unit 3 International Business Environment and Overview, Part 2.
Social and cultural environment. In the new global environment, cultural awareness about other countries is essential for the managers. This is a critical issue, and any ignorance of cultural sensitivities will lead to dire consequences, which would even jeopardize business transaction. Before proceeding on overseas assignment, the managers should do their homework, that is, acquainting themselves a bit about the foreign cultures. This could be done by undergoing a short course in foreign language, cross-cultural training, familiarizing themselves about specific business etiquettes and practices. One can do so through cultural guides, thus avoid making mistakes. Cultural identification and dynamics of culture. There are certain ways by which a manager can understand the dynamics of different cultures. 1. Nation as a point of reference. Cultural differences exist usually between nations due to different cultures, customs, beliefs, values, and faiths. Thus, it becomes essential to compare differences in national cultures to understand and appreciate specific cultural nuances. 2. Dynamics and cultural formation. Cultures are imbibed by children from their parents in early age. Culture and value systems are also inherited from one generation to another. There are cultural changes over time due to a variety of reasons, such as greater exposure to foreign cultures, shifting from one area to another, acquaintances with people of foreign culture, foreign media, etc. If a change in a country's culture is due to forceful imposition of foreign nations' culture, it is known as cultural imperialism. 3. Language creating cultural stability. Culture can be identified in terms of language spoken, such as French, English, etc. The people speaking the similar languages in an area are likely have similar cultural attitudes. Many countries have diverse cultures because they have different languages spoken within their borders. 4. Religion creating cultural stability. Religion followed by a people of country also reflects its culture values, thus affecting its business practices. The holidays, working hours, food habits, religious practices and lifestyle, etc. have its influence on culture of a country. 5. Cultural-oriented social practices. A manager should be aware of the cultural-oriented social practices as they influence business in international markets. Social stratification. A society can be stratified on the basis of varying cultural values. A person can be ranked on the basis of his or her birth or on the basis of achievement, political affiliation, religion, or other factors. Social stratification may influence the determination of target market, human resource policies, and practices and other similar activities. Following cultural characteristics influence persons' social ranking. 1. Merit as basis of selection. In many advanced countries, the basis of selection or promotion for a job is the merit or competence. This creates healthy competition in the working environment as each employee has opportunity to compete based on his or her performance. In Japan, seniority has greater say in promotion decisions as experience is valued in management positions. It may sometimes lead to lower competition in performance and even dissonance among junior employees. 2. Groups based on gender. Different countries have different social perception or orientation to think towards males and females in society. In this regard, we can quote Political Risk Insurance (PRI) case of Middle East and other Muslim majority countries. This is how Islamic laws postulate, perceive, and view the role of women in the society. The Islamic clergy prohibit the women from attending school and working in offices and also even participating in the workforce, for instance, Afghanistan, Sudan, and Saudi Arabia. The things are changing partially and slowly, at least for Saudi Arabia in the recent years. 3. Groups based on age. In many countries, age is associated with experience and wisdom. The superannuation of workers is fixed on the basis of age, that is, 60 or 65 years. Many companies prefer young employees and accordingly fix the age of service as these organizations require young and dynamic workforce. 4. Groups based on family. In some societies, instead of individuals' achievement, it is the family's social status which determines the position in the business. Recently, family-owned businesses are gaining importance where non-family members find it difficult to move up in the managerial hierarchy ladder. 5. Source of livelihood. People select their source of livelihood or occupation on the basis of economic and social prestige attached to certain occupation. In some countries, professionals from teaching stream are given greater importance than business professionals, while in other societies, people opt to become doctors or engineers on the basis of prestige attached to jobs of science discipline. Strategies for coping with cultural differences. Different countries have different cultures, and accordingly, appropriate strategies should be advised by managers to deal with cultural differences. 1. Making slight or no adjustment. The managers of an internationally engaged firm need to slightly adjust with people of varying cultures. On the other side, some cultures which allow greater freedom to foreigners than their own people require less adjustment. Region-wise cultural similarities may also exist. For instance, such cultural similarity exists between Argentina and Uruguay. The workforce of the firm in such kind of countries can easily adjust culturally if the firm expand and diversify to such similar country. 2. Communication. Cultural differences can be handled with the help of effective communication. Communication includes both oral and written components and also sign language. 3. Oral and written language. Communication problem exists between countries due to difference in language. It is difficult to find an exact meaning and interpretation of words between two different languages. For example, over 4,000 words in English are spelled differently and have different pronunciation and meanings between US and UK. Mmpc 016, Unit 3, 57 page. 4. Silent language. Non-verbal cues such as the kinesis and proximities like gestures, posture, haptics, paralanguage, color preferences can be described as silent language. Silent language like standing too close or too far or wrong body language can be misinterpreted and can ruin an important business deal. 5. Cultural shock. When an employee leaves his own country and settles in a new country, he has to cope up with different cultural cues and languages. Accordingly, the cultural training programs are organized by companies before employees depart for the foreign assignment. Employees also come across reverse cultural shocks when they return to their home country after having completed a foreign assignment. Technological environment. Technology has been one of the biggest factors that has affected modern business. Two facets of technology are particularly noticeable. One is the speed of communication, and the second is the reduction in the cost of technology. Let us first discuss about the speed of communication. You will notice that the cost of communicating has now become a fraction of what it used to be 2-3 decades back. More so, the communication landscape has witnessed a complete transformation with newer and smarter tools, email, WhatsApp, Zoom call, Google Meet, along with introduction of various product software like MS Team and WebEx. The technological leapfrogging in internet technologies has facilitated the growth of seamless and cost-effective communication around the world. The world economy is witnessing a manufacturing transformation with new technological innovations such as 3D printing, artificial intelligence, barcoding or automatic identification, big data, blockchain, cloud computing, computer-aided design, embedded systems, enterprise resource planning, flexible manufacturing systems, Internet of Things, machine learning, radio frequency and identification, robotics, sensor networks, and wireless communication, etc. These technologies are redefining the upstream, horizontal, and downstream supply chain of firms. Technology is leveraged by firms to win customers and competitive markets. Technological innovations are frequent, resulting in changes in strategic business planning of international business firms. Organizations are faced with the need to secure a dominant market position despite entry and business operations costs in the beginning are too high. Companies are going in for joint ventures to get started and seek synergies in their capabilities and areas of strengths to succeed in international markets. The implications of changing electronic communications and technological developments on international business are enormous, but the need of the hour is to innovate constantly for sustainable competitive advantage. Technology, therefore, can either be constructive or destructive. Technological development should aim at innovating and introducing changes which improve the quality of products and customer services, along with leading to better quality of life to the mankind. Ecological environment. Ecological issues have received worldwide attention. The unsustainable industrial planning, growing developmental requirements coupled with ever-increasing size of global population is leading to several ecological changes which have its harmful effect on the environment. In this context, the major factors responsible for degradation of environment have been reckless industrialization, deforestation, traffic congestion, population, system failure in civic planning, and illiteracy. The production of industrial goods such as air conditioners and refrigerators has led to excretion of harmful gases known as chlorofluorocarbons (CFCs), causing ozone layer depletion. This has led to weather and climatic changes. The wastes discharged by industries have caused air, water, and soil pollution. Effective waste management and effluent treatment is now being practiced by various business houses. The family-owned businesses or even corporate houses no more enjoy the monopoly on their business decision-making, and there are stakeholders such as managers, workers, suppliers, distributors, consumers, government officials who have their say in business planning vis-a-vis environmental ill effects of established and even proposed industries. As a result, it has been felt that business should be socially responsible. In order to preserve environment, companies have developed following policies and practices. These are designed to integrate ecological issues having its impact on environmental concerns in their business strategies. 1. Preserve and promote pollution-free and green environment. 2. Support renewable energy resources in the industrial uses. 3. Protect and preserve the fauna and flora, especially endangered species. 4. Reduce and reuse waste and if not possible, recycle it. 5. Follow domestic and international regulations related to environment and pollution. 6. Encourage manufacturing of energy-efficient products. 7. Achieve sustainable development by allowing markets to work within an appropriate framework of cost-efficient regulations. 8. Promote effective corporate governance by application of best management practices, adherence to ethical standards for effective management, and distribution of wealth and discharge of social responsibility for sustainable development of all stakeholders. 9. Corporate efforts to create the Environment Awareness Campaign. 10. Study the ecological and environmental impact of products over their entire life cycle. 11. Introduce incentive schemes for good environmental practices. 12. Contribution to ecological and environmental institutions such as Global Compact and the World CSR. Legal environment. There are different dimensions of legal environment prevailing within a country and its resultant impact on the firms engaged in the business. A. Types of legal system. Common law. Laws are based on tradition, previous precedents, and customs. Civil law. The legal system is based on a legal code, which is a detailed set of laws. Theoretical law. The legal system is based on legal precepts. B. Safeguards for consumers. International firms have to often face product liability issues as a major challenge. Law protects consumers who spend their hard-earned money on purchase of products of international firms. These safeguards protect consumers in case the quality of the product is not up to the mark. Consumer Protection Act in different countries provides for filing of product liability case by the consumers and offers him or her compensation if proven so. C. The legal profession. The international firms before starting an international venture usually hire a legal service firms in other countries. They need the services of lawyers or law firms for understanding the business contracts and protecting intellectual property rights. D. Legal issues related to international business. Laws influence various aspects of international business. Laws which affect working environment vary from country to country. Laws also govern cross-border activities such as import duties, foreign investment regulation, etc. E. Ethical and legal dilemma. When you are in Rome, do as the Romans do is the best approach in dealing with ethical issues globally. Merely abiding by the host country's laws will not fulfill one's ethical responsibilities because of the following reasons. A. All unethical issues need not always be illegal. B. Slow development of laws in emerging areas of concern. C. Moral concepts must be studied in the light of legal provisions. D. Laws need to be examined by judiciary. E. The law need not always be efficient. No law in the world can resolve all ethical disputes. It, however, can serve as a guide in many cases. Sometimes, examining the potential liability and legality of actions become difficult as different countries practice different kinds of law, common law, civil law, and Islamic law, etc. Civil laws assess the legality of various behaviors, while common law emphasizes more on cases and precedents than on statutory regulations. The law of land will apply where business operations are located unless agreed otherwise between the business parties. For instance, companies prefer to resolve their disputes through arbitration, and that even in an international court of arbitration located in countries like Britain and Singapore, where legal redressal system is prompt. Summary. The analysis of political, economic, social, technological, ecological, and legal factors, in short known as PESTEL analysis, is crucial to international business. For countries as well as global organizations, these factors are important and must be evaluated, especially when evolving business environment is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. This unit, following PESTEL constituents in the order or sequence in which the abbreviation appears, discussed political, economic, social, technological, ecological, and legal factors and how they could affect international business. An understanding of these factors is imperative for any manager who is concerned with international business. Some of the key points under economic factors included classification of countries on the basis of income, region, and economic systems. With the advent of 21st century and several associated economic developments, the economic systems of many countries have changed. The rapid transformation of China, Brazil, India, and Russia from a developing to emerging economies has far-reaching implications for multinational corporations. Also, with increasing regionalization of economies, the imperatives are now even broader. In the units that follow, there will be discussion on trade blocs, a sort of union formed by countries due to their geographical proximity and, in some cases, due to the similarity in the pattern of their economies or their economic history or economic growth. The unit discussed the key concept aimed at understanding the elements of international business environment. These concepts help a participant to understand the economic, political, socio-economic, ecological, technological, and legal issues that an internationally engaged firm should factor while entering into international markets. For any multinational company, it is important to identify a country's culture and its underlying dynamics. Culture is always the invisible hand of the society, which tends to be present in watermark, but practicing managers can never ignore it. The culturally oriented social behaviors affect business. It is therefore necessary for an international manager to understand a country's social stratification process, motivation of its people, relationships, preference about risk-taking, etc. How companies deal with cultural differences and what strategies they adopt to deal with them makes the difference. making internal adjustments, studying aspects of communication, adopting right management orientation, including seeking local expertise, and finally, institutionalizing the processes are critical to organizations wanting to succeed in international business. Ecological factors refer to preservation and promotion of green and pollution-free environment. This also includes adopting the manufacturing practices of eco-friendly products. Legal environment in a country is also critical to international business. With increasing complexities, aggressive takeovers, mergers, or acquisition, what it means is that the organization have to make it sure that all the possible legal issues are taken care of before an action is initiated. Meeting the requirements of a foreign country's legal environment and defending legal suits are difficult and have cost complications. It is said that in the UK, the cost of hiring a lawyer may at times be more than the total export consignment under a legal dispute. Especially for small or medium exporters, it becomes tough.
You were listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program. Course code Mmpc 016 International Business Management. Course Coordinator Professor G. Subayama. Voiceover by Renuka. Edited by Ashok Sharma. Program assisted by Tarannum Jahan and Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.